Well, the 11 a.m. update is in from the National Hurricane Center, and we now have our 7th named storm of the Atlantic hurricane season. That is Tropical Storm Gabrielle. So we had Tropical Depression 7 formed really early this morning at 5 a.m. And Tropical Storm Gabrielle is actually moving very quickly up to the north and northwest at 22 miles per hour. The winds have increased to 45 miles per hour as opposed to the 35 miles per hour they were present at this morning. Saw a slight pressure drop from 1,007 millibars now to 1,006 millibars. As we go into the future, take a look at the cone associated with Tropical Storm Gabrielle. That was the big change that we did see as of that 5 a.m. update. Getting the name of a tropical depression at least gave us a cone forecast to give us a better idea about the general path where Gabrielle is heading. Well, as Gabrielle continues up to the north and northwest, it's going to kind of turn a little bit here and there. It looks to go more so to the west and northwest over the course of this weekend. And then by the time we get into the end of the weekend, Gabrielle is expected to strengthen into a Category 1 hurricane. So Gabrielle right now still encountering its fair share of drier air and some wind shear that is present in this portion of the central Atlantic Ocean. It's kind of just slowing the development with it, but obviously it's got its act together enough to maintain tropical storm status. And then by the time we get over into Sunday, really early in the morning, Sunday at 9 a.m. specifically, expected to see those winds increase to 75 miles per hour, then 85 miles per hour. So obviously if we see the trend continuing to go upward, we could even start to flirt with Category 2 status associated with this named storm. Taking a look at the spaghetti plots, this gives us a better idea about the general path that Gabrielle is going to take past what the cone does have. And obviously these lines do get more spread out the farther in the future that you go, but we have seen some good signs. Number one, we have seen a lot of these spaghetti plots go over towards the west as of this morning. The general consensus is now that we are going to see a turn up to the north, and then past that, still kind of uncertain about what Gabrielle is going to do, but I think the most likely solution is Gabrielle just simply goes back out into the Atlantic Ocean. But right over here, just under all of this cluster of lines that you do see, that would be the island nation of Bermuda. If you have any plans for, say, an early fall break trip, maybe some cruise plans to go out to Bermuda, you're going to want to keep a close eye on Tropical Storm Gabrielle as it does forecast, or as it is forecasted to become of hurricane status as we go out that far in the future. Speaking of other areas in the tropics, we have another wave that we are monitoring for potential development. This wave just got its recognition as it's moved off the west coast of Africa. Right now, it's this cluster of showers and thunderstorms that's moving over the Cape Verde Islands. So that right now sending some heavy rain into that portion, those island nations right over there off the west coast of Africa, going to continue to move over towards the west. Right now, it's still encountering a lot of drier air, some of that Saharan dust right off the coast of Africa. So pretty slim chances of development, nothing of immediate concern as of right now. 10% chance of developing over the next 48 hours and only a slightly greater chance of developing over the course of the next week. This wave is going to take some time to get its act together if it is to, but a lot of the models that I've looked at haven't showed too much strengthening with this wave of low pressure moving off of Africa. So taking a look back at last year, how are we on pace for in terms of this year's hurricane season? Well, Hurricane Ernesto, the E-named storm, formed on August 12th of last year. Then we had almost a month gap before we had another named storm, which marked the least active tropical period we have had in 56 years after the formation of Ernesto until Hurricane Francine, which made landfall in Louisiana last year. And then that formed on September 9th, right there around the peak of hurricane season. And then Tropical Storm Gordon, that formed just 2 days later, and that claimed the G name. So we just got our G name storm for the 2025 hurricane season list. And obviously that date this year is a little bit past what we saw last year, but we also had another decent gap in between September 11th all the way to September 24th last year. And that is when the infamous Hurricane Helene did form down in the Caribbean Sea. We need no reminder of the impacts that Helene did pose to portions of the Big Bend of Florida and getting into southern Appalachia, especially here in central Georgia. But the H-named storm formed on September 24th as of last year. We're pretty much on par with what the 2024 season was in terms of the pace. 6 named storms before the official peak of hurricane season last year, and then we had a whopping 12 named storms. So we had double the amount of named storms after the official peak of hurricane season in 2024. Well, so far in 2025, exactly on pace with last year. 6 named storms before the official peak, and we're still forecasting anywhere from about 7 to 12 named storms for the remainder of hurricane season. It just goes to show that, yes, just because sometimes you get a later start to hurricane season doesn't mean that you can't get a very active end to hurricane season. And right now, 2025 looks to be reciprocating a lot of what 2024 did. But we'll continue to keep you updated with all of these tropics updates day by day as we continue to learn more about the tropic systems that we currently have out there. But the big news today, 7th named storm has officially formed in Tropical Storm Gabrielle. No impacts are expected in the United States or even central Georgia as of right now, but we'll let you know if that changes.